himself. Roth said he took the part to please his sons, who are comic book superhero fans. As a teenager, Roth was a fan of the 1970s TV series, and he also found Leterrier's ideas very dark and very interesting. Roth started watching the 2003 film to prepare for the part, but stopped as he did not want to be caught up in the controversy over its quality, and to compare himself to it. It was Roth who suggested Blonsky be a soldier, whereas in the comics he was a KGB agent. Leterrier was a fan of Roth's work, and felt, "It's great watching a normal Cockney boy become a superhero." But Marvel and Norton were initially reluctant to cast him. Before he was cast in Punisher: Warzone, Ray Stevenson was in discussions for the role. Roth prepared for the part by learning to fire guns and break into rooms with two experts. Roth found it tough shooting the chases, because to show Blonsky's aging he could not work out. He especially found it difficult to run while pulled with a harness, which was used to show the injected Blonsky's 30 to 40 mph running abilities. Cyril Raffaelli performed some of Roth's stunts. Roth enjoyed the motion capture, which reminded him of fringe theater, and he hired his trainer from Planet of the Apes, 2001, Terry Notary, to aid him in portraying the monster's movement. 103 Roth was signed on for 3 more films. William Hurt as Thaddeus Ross, Betty's father and a U.S. Army general who has dedicated himself to capturing the Hulk. Leterrier cast Hurt because Ross is more physical, more explosive in this movie, and no actor goes from 0 to 100 as well as William. He compared Ross to Captain Ahab. The Hulk was Hurt's favorite superhero, and his son is also a big fan of the character. Hurt found production very different from the typical, pure anxiety of a studio film. Finding it more akin to an independent film, he described Ross as humiliated by Hulk's conscience. He actually sees and recognizes that it's more developed than his own, even though he's a patriot and a warrior for his country. He's sacrificed much for that purpose, but at the expense at times of his humanity, which he occasionally recovers. In June 2015, when reflecting on how his reprisal in Captain America: Civil War was different from this film, Hurt said, "What I created for The Incredible Hulk was a Ross who was right out of the graphic novel type of thing, where he was as much of a cartoon, in a way, as the monsters were. His ego was just as big and his problems were just as big. I really did do that consciously. I created a General Ross before, which created a verisimilitude for the monsters, by making him a human monster. I worked really hard on the makeup and the exaggerated behavior and things like that, and a controlled psychosis." Sam Elliott had expressed interest in reprising the role from the 2003 Hulk film. Tim Blake Nelson as Samuel Stearns, the cellular biologist who develops a possible antidote to Banner's condition. Towards the end of the film, Stearns is exposed to some substance that begins his transformation into leader. Ty Burrell as Leonard Sampson, a psychiatrist who is in a relationship with Betty during Bruce's absence. Burrell had performed with Norton in the off-Broadway play Burn This in 2003, and when Leterrier met him, he recognized Burrell as the jerk from the 2004 Dawn of the Dead remake, which was how Samson was characterized in the script before Norton rewrote it. Christina Cabot as Kathleen Spar, a major who is Thaddeus Ross's personal aide. Robert Downey Jr. has an uncredited cameo as Tony Stark at the end of the film, reprising the role from the MCU film Iron Man, 2008. Downey appeared as a favor to Marvel Studios, which he acknowledged as a smart move on Marvel's part, because when he was promoting his film he would also have to mention their other production, Hulk Co. Creator Stan Lee cameos as a man who becomes ill when drinking the soda poisoned by Banner's blood. Michael K. Williams appears as a Harlem bystander, a role that was written for him by Norton, who is a fan of The Wire. Paul Soles, who voiced Banner in the 1966 The Marvel Superheroes animated series, appears as Stanley Lieber, a kindly pizza restaurant owner who helps Banner because he was good friends with him and Betty in the past. His name is a reference to Stan Lee's full name. Additionally, the late Bill Bixby appears, in a scene on his TV comedy drama The Courtship of Eddie's father on a television Banner is watching at the beginning of the film. Rickson Gracie has a small role as Bruce Banner's martial arts instructor. Despite Gracie's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background, he is credited as an Aikido instructor. Brazilian actress Deborah Nascimento makes a cameo as Martina, Banner's colleague at a beverage factory. Peter Mensah plays a small role as General Joe Greller, one of General Ross's military friends, associates, Hulk. Supporting characters, Jim Wilson and Jack McGee, make cameo appearances as Culver University students played by P.J. Kerr and Nicholas Rose, respectively. Martin Starr plays a college student, credited as computer nerd. This character was retroactively revealed to be Roger Harrington, Starr's role in the MCU film Spider-Man: Homecoming, 2017, Spider-Man: Far From Home, 2019, and Spider-Man: No Way Home, 2021, as confirmed in May 2019 by Feige.